Hey everyone, welcome to the Plant Based Morning Show, Tuesday, December 19th edition. 6 days before Christmas, 1 week before my birthday, 1 week before I turn 43. Can you believe that? I can't believe that. When I started No Meat Athlete, I was 28, I think. So it's a long time. uh, anyway, fun time of year. I always like this time. I'm adding Doug in. We'll see what he's up to. But kind of winding down. We're going to be doing a partial week this week because Doug is jetting off to LA for the holiday on Thursday. So we'll be doing today and tomorrow, and then that's it for the year. All right, Doug's at it. How's it going, Doug?
Going great, Matt. Happy near birthday. Happy near Christmas.
Thanks.
43. It's a big one.
Happy near New Year's too.
Happy near New Year's. Yeah, near New Year's. You're a third of the way to 50 almost. Kind of. Not really.
Third of the way from 40 to 50. Yeah.
From 40. Yeah.
More than a third overall journey.
yeah, definitely so. And you had big goals for when you turn 50, so you feel like you've made progress.
Yeah.
I'd say you have.
I've made substantial progress. Yeah, like I'm back. I'm like a fitness guy again, and it had been a long time at that point. I was post COVID or during COVID really when I turned 40 and said I got to get in shape, but I'm not going to set a 1-year goal. I'm going to set a 10-year goal of just crushing it at age 50. So I've gotten started.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a fun show today. We got some good weather report items, a little bit of end of year content, and I don't know. In the meantime, anything else? Like we watched the Biltmore Christmas movie yesterday. Finally,
ooh, I want to hear about that.
Christmas, it's called. It involves time travel, and it's almost entirely set in the Biltmore estate. Kind of good. Not a bad movie, not a great movie at all. But it's okay. I like the Asheville references and things.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for the Asheville references, would it have been any sort of kind of good movie or not really?
I mean, it's been sort of above average Hallmark movie where you don't expect much anymore. You put time travel in there, I'll be entertained for a little while. That's what it was.
All right. Hey, so there you go. I am listening to you on Instagram, and I see that there's a little bit of delay on restream. So if anyone watching on YouTube right now, if it's not syncing up, let me know. Let us know.
Okay. Good.
Yes. Yeah, I watched no Christmas movies this weekend. I even almost watched one last night just so that I had something to talk about with the Christmas movies side, but but didn't pull it off. But I have some pretty great news, honestly.
Okay.
I got an early Christmas came early in the Hay House yesterday.
Okay.
And it was a gift from a listener, Anne Marie.
Oh.
Who it took me until a few minutes ago to figure out how she got my address. But she sent me the Tofu Press that we've been talking about. True Tofu Press. Yeah.
Wow, look at that. What brand is it?
Man,
Tofu Express,
bring it into
or that green one?
Yeah, it's the green one.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'd like to try that one.
Yeah. So I'm just.
Well, I'm gonna be checking my mail. I'll tell you that much.
I'm gonna use it tonight.
I'm gonna check my mail right after the show to see what Emery got for me. I mean, given that I donated all those gut nurturers to her, I expect the least I'd get a present that's better than that, better than Tofu Press, really. So
I think
I'll be checking that out.
She pities me since you give me such a hard time, And okay, and then
she has that same Tofu Press, I guess. She likes it. Yeah. All right, what else, Doug?
I got one other thing I wanted to see your reaction to. Have you ever heard of a chopped sandwich?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Chopped salad, I know of.
What's a chopped salad?
I think it's a whole bunch of ingredients, like lettuce and bell peppers and all these things that are sort of diced fairly fine, and they're like your salad.
Okay. All right. Well, it may be the same thing as a chopped sandwich. I'm not sure, but I just recently learned about this, and I guess maybe I've had one before. I don't know. Maybe probably not. But I wanted to get your take on it. I think I'm going to make one for lunch today, where you take all the sandwich ingredients. Instead of layering them on the sandwich, you put them in a big pile. You chop them all up, mix them all up, so that they're all blended together. and then put that on the sandwich. So each bite tastes the same, including the sauce, including all the like ingredients. Everything's kind of blended together and like finer chopped things. You for it or against it?
Okay. Mostly against that. I don't really know why I would need everything to taste the same every bite. I'm okay with a little slight variation in each bite of the sandwich.
Okay. just not
I
knowing
mean, it's
quite,
only the
what you're gonna
slightest
get.
variation, but you're still getting all the ingredients usually in your sandwich bite.
I know, but it's much less even, I would say.
Yeah, I guess. But then isn't it missing like texture and stuff because it's all the same?
I don't know. I'm excited to try it out.
All right.
This is kind of my right up my alley.
Well, what kind of ingredients are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean,
Like vegan turkey?
yeah, like vegan turkey, some lettuce, tomato, maybe a little mustard or vegan mayo or something.
Right. So it sounds like a tuna salad type sandwich or egg salad or whatever.
Yeah,
we
exactly. Like you're
have
just
a
kind of mixing
mush
it up
of stuff and put it on the sandwich.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's your kind of food? I didn't realize. I mean, I guess I knew it was, but I thought you're not really adding any flavor. You just want to add as many flavors as possible is what I generally think is your eating philosophy. And
Yeah,
in this case, you're not really adding any. You're just
true.
mixing them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I had a Doug inspired hot dog over the weekend.
Okay,
I went to Greensboro for a futsal tournament. I took my daughter there, and we were there for one night and 2 days. And there was this place called Mike's Vegan Grill in Greensboro. Greensboro is kind of a smallish city. So I was surprised to find this place, and it was great. It was just like it was mostly vegan junk food. Ellie got grilled cheese twice, which was very good. I got a Philly cheesesteak one day, and then I got this They had all these hot dogs on the menu. $7, decent price for a plant-based hot dog. But there was no plain hot dog. Anything you got had to be like 10 ingredients on it. So I guess I could have asked for plain, but I didn't want to spend $7 on plain. I didn't want to deal with like, are they going to make it a discount? So I got Colombiana, and it had pineapple. This was like the least of anything, the least ingredients. Had pineapple, potato chips crumbled all on top. And then there was something else in that I'm forgetting on the actual hot dog. And then like at the end, they like drizzle the smear back and forth, drizzle on top of the whole hot dog that goes onto the bun too. So suddenly like you can't really eat it or handle it without your hands getting the stuff all over it.
Yeah.
And it was okay. But as I was eating, I was like, this is just, I know I don't like this kind of food because it's just a mess and I hate it. But I said, Doug loves this stuff. This is Doug's kind of hot dog.
Have I told you about completos in Chile?
No.
This was man.
Maybe you have. It sounds familiar, so you probably have.
This was my like every night that I went out drinking when I lived in Chile, which was often. Late night snack, which was just a giant hot dog, and they would smear a huge thing of avocado on the bun before they put the hot dog in, and then ketchup, diced tomatoes, a little bit of grilled onion, and I think some mayonnaise on there as well. And then they put the dog on top, and it was just like, oh, it's just so good. It's perfect late night food.
Yeah. Well, I like that they put the dog on top, and it sort of at least crushes everything in.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it. Honestly, I think that's a huge difference to me. Still, probably too many flavors, but at least it's contained. Speaking of contained, Mr. Jeffrey says, I think a better idea for chopped sandwich is to do it as a wrap instead.
Ooh, smart. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll try that. Report back.
Good. Okay. Good. Where'd you hear about this chopped sandwich? TikTok?
Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram. Okay.
And it seemed to be very controversial. There were a lot of interaction, and people hated the idea. So,
wow. Okay, doesn't seem that controversial. Like I said, these things exist. Tuna / tempeh salad.
Right.
All right. Anyway, enough of that. Welcome everybody to the show. Who's here? Good to see everybody. I'm not going to go through all the names right now, but it's all the regular crowd, so you know them if you listen to this show. Yeah. All right. So I guess let's jump into our weather report. Doug, we got some fun stuff today.
We do.
And we'll see where that takes us. All righty, here we go. Sound machine working.
All right.
Starting from the top. All right. You know this new Willy Wonka movie? Have you seen that creepy ad for it yet?
I have not.
There's a new one. They're always creepy. The first one was creepy with those Oompa Loompas running around. Then they made the Johnny Depp version even creepier. And now, for some reason, they're making yet another one. And and it's creepy. I mean, it just is. The whole premise is.
Is it the same Willy Wonka movie they're doing again, or like remaking it again?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I think it's just called Wonka.
Why
Yeah,
do they
it's
just
called
keep
Wonka.
remaking stuff? I don't
know. I have no idea.
You know, like the other day I was looking for The Grinch, and there's like 3 versions of The Grinch now.
Yeah,
like
right.
we don't need 3 versions of The Grinch.
No, we don't. And only the first one, as far as I know, is good. I haven't really seen that new computer animated one, but the Jim Carrey one, it's really not a good movie.
We watched. Oh, I guess we did watch a movie, Christmas. We watched the computer animated one. It was good, but honestly, it missed some of the character of the original. Anyway, I digress. Willy Wonka.
All right, Chelsea Me on Twitter or on Instagram points out that this is the prequel to Willy Wonka, so that's much better excuse to make a movie because they just made the I mean, not just, but 2005 or so they made the other one, the Johnny Depp one.
This is much better.
So this is better. Okay. Anyway, that movie's coming out, and for the first time ever, a vegan commercial will air before that film, before a major Hollywood film, at theaters across the United States. So while they are screening it, I guess they're not screening it. It's in theaters, and they're going to show this commercial from Eat Differently. We talked earlier last year, sometime in the last year, about Eat Differently. This campaign where it's kind of like a spin-off of the Apple Think Different campaign.
Yeah, sure.
To me, major miss in saying Eat Differently, because I think the point of the Think Different campaign was that it wasn't Think Differently. It was Think Different. It was different. It was different.
Eat different.
Yeah. Eat different. So I don't know why they're calling it Eat Differently. It's just maybe they had to for some reason. But anyway, it shows like these, I think, black and white images of, kind of iconic figures, depending on who, I mean, is Ariana Grande iconic? I guess so. Bunch of other vegan types, Paul McCartney, Natalie Portman, Joaquin Phoenix, etc. And I guess it puts a quote up there, and it's sort of Apple-like. And so that commercial, or a commercial based on that stuff, which I think we watched a commercial from them too once, that's going to be airing before it in every theater. I don't know why they picked that. It seems like Chicken Run might have been a better choice.
Well, Chicken Run's not in the theaters, but
you're right. There is no theater run for that.
Maybe it's predicted to be the big hit movie of the, because Christmas is a big movie time.
Yeah, right. I just thought you think something about the movie content, they would say this is the right fit for this thing. But maybe for some reason they decided that it is. I don't know. Maybe because you have to be like a creepy person to see this, and they want to get to the creepy people. I don't know. All right, moving on.
You're a creepy person. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, Not Milk in Chile, they have appealed a recent court ruling again about the labeling thing. Labeling is it's been like one of the themes of the year. Did not show up in the thing we're going to get to later, the stories of the year, vegan stories of the year list. But the labeling thing has been, it seems like every week there's new labeling stuff. But anyway, Notco has appealed a decision that went against them about whether the labeling is confusing to people. And they actually did an analysis. They hired a company to do an analysis or do a study and basically determine if people in their demographic would be confused. And what they found was that 7.9 out of 10 recognized Not Milk as a plant-based beverage. This is in the 18 to 34 age group, which is not really that high, I think, to use as your like appeal data evidence.
8 out of 10, right? Yeah, you'd want it to be 10 out of 10.
Yeah. You would hope so, right? Because 20% of people being confused about what's in the product isn't that good. But only 0.1%, only 0.1 out of 10, so that would be 1%, thought that Not Milk was cow's milk. So
well, there you go.
That's kind of good.
Yeah,
the others, I think, might have thought it was a different animal. Like they just didn't know it was plant-based, but they figured it wasn't cow, even though there's cow imagery on the package.
I mean, it literally says Not Milk on it. I mean, they got that going for it, right? Like it literally says that.
But I guess 2 out of 10 people are assuming that might mean not cow's milk, but some other kind of milk. Like maybe they're just saying any other animal's mammary secretion is not called milk, but cow's is. I don't know. Anyway, we'll touch on mammary secretions again in a bit on another labeling case.
Oh boy.
All right, this is exciting to me. Le Cordon Bleu, the French, culinary school, which isn't just in France. It's I think in London and elsewhere.
Yeah.
they have introduced two new plant-based courses. They already had one. They already had a plant-based culinary arts qualification in 2019. Now they have the cuisine and the patisserie courses. They're 3-month diplomas. So you can go there for just 3 months. I don't know if you have to go full-time or what, and get a plant-based degree either in this, like, savory foods or sweet dessert things. I think it's kind of cool. I always thought culinary school would be a nice late in life thing to do. And I always thought, well, I'm not going to be able to because I'm going to have to go chop up animals or something as part of the butchery class. Right. But it sounds like if you do this sort of thing, you can avoid that. So I'm actually kind of excited to hear this. Mm-hmm. It is. All right. Also in France, they are now saying that a new bill has been introduced. Doesn't mean it's passed or anything. Where they're saying cultivated meat. Yeah, so you can imagine the attitudes over there in France based on Doug's impression. Sounds like the type of people who would say this cultivated meat is a very bad thing. We don't want it in our country, and they're saying it's junk food. They literally they said this cultivated meat is junk food, has too much extra ingredients, real threat to livestock farming, and they want to ban it. They want to prohibit the production and marketing of cultivated meat in the country. So we will see next year probably what happens with that.
What are the Europeans?
They protect their foods. I don't know. I didn't go that deeply into this. But I thought it was strange because it has way fewer extra ingredients than what's currently out there, Beyond Meat and all that.
Right.
But I think France has had issues with that stuff too. They've had certainly the labeling issues. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. They want to protect their culinary traditions.
Except for at Le Cordon Bleu. Oh, it's in London.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. I think it's elsewhere too. All right. I'm saving the memory secretions thing for last here. We're going to get there in a minute though. Eat Kinda has a new world's first cauliflower ice cream, Doug. They're now in 90 Woolworths stores across New Zealand. Is that the same Woolworths as we have in our country? I can't imagine. But maybe. It's a supermarket over there. But anyway, co-founder Jenny Matheson trying to make a vegan cauliflower cheesecake. Didn't work out, but it led to her figuring out how to make dairy-free ice cream from cauliflower, which received rave reviews from her family and friends. So she started a company doing it, and now they're doing it. How do you feel about cauliflower ice cream, Doug?
I love cauliflower. Never had cauliflower ice cream. Not particularly interested in it, but would try it. Sounds. I mean, I wonder if it's any healthier than almond milk ice cream. Probably not, right? I mean, they're still going to pump it with sugar and
still got sugar, still probably got fat. Yep, but you get a little bit of veggies in there.
A little veggie ice cream. I don't know. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, cauliflower can do an okay job as other things, so I guess it wouldn't be too shocking if it worked out for ice cream. All right, Chicken Run 2. This is from Daily Mail, who generally anti-vegan site. So they have pointed out here that despite the vegan activists claiming the film would turn audiences off of meat, which we covered in depth in the past week or so, they have found that some children still want to eat nuggets after watching the film. They have a few quotes here. Saul Alvarez 8 said of the film, "I liked it. My favorite part was when the chickens broke out, but I still like chicken nuggets." His friend Oliver, also 8, said, "I thought it was funny. I definitely still eat chicken nuggets." Bella Hall, age 10, preferred this one to the first one. "We don't have chicken nuggets often, but I'll still eat them." So I guess they must have asked these kids, "What do you think of the movie? And will you eat chicken nuggets?" Because they're all answering those two questions. Alfie Hall, 10, said, "My favorite character was the chicken who knitted, Babs. I feel a bit bad, but I still like chicken nuggets, so I'll probably still eat them." And finally, Isabella St. Amour, age 10, said, "The film was really good. I still like nuggets." So it looks like the whole thing was wrong. We thought it was going to create a whole generation of vegans. And if these 5 children, who we know nothing about how they were surveyed or what the other children said, if these are how children feel, then I guess that was all wrong.
The Daily Mail really stuck it to those vegans.
They did. They did. This is good journalism here. They
hard-hitting journalism right there.
Yeah. All right. And finally, here it is. Involves one of my favorite brands, Oatly. They have apparently had a 4-year court battle against Dairy UK, and this is kind of weird. They've won. They've won this thing, which is good. basically it was over the use of the word milk in a trademark that they had, and I think they put it on their packages. I'm not sure. The trademark though was this. I've seen it on T-shirts in these news articles. It says post milk generation, which, and so that's what they trademarked, that phrase, and that's what the dispute was about. Was they shouldn't be able to trademark this thing with the word milk on it because milk is milk, and if you put that on the package that's advertising something that isn't milk, people are going to be confused. Ultimately, they won. The reason Dairy UK didn't like it is because they think milk is strictly mammary secretions. You can't have milk from anything else, from almonds or oats or whatever. But the judge...
But aren't they saying it's like post-milk, like after, like the generation that is beyond the milk secretions?
Right, exactly. So they're using milk here, and the judge caught this. I don't know why it took them 4 years to figure this out, but ultimately the judge basically said, I don't know. I can't find it right in front of me. I'll find it in a minute. But he said this exact thing. He said, like, this thing is saying that the people who used to drink milk and now they're past, or they're the generation that is after the drinking of milk. So they are literally referring to mammary secretions in this statement. I mean, it's not. I don't think they're confusing anyone. No. I don't understand. It just does not matter. It does not make sense to me how this could have gone on for 4 years. It just doesn't make sense. But thankfully, much as I don't like all these advertising, they won this one.
I kind of like post-milk generation. I like that slogan.
Kind of cool. Yeah, that's a decent marketing by Oatly.
Yeah,
which is, I don't think I've ever said that before.
Makes you feel like you're part of something, member of a crew.
And it might be accurate. I mean, really, I think it's not just a vegan thing. Paleos, ketos, all these. A lot of people who are into real whole foods, they don't want milk often as part of their diet. I know in the blue zones they drink some of it, but it's not like the cow milk that we know. It's like goat's milk or fermented or whatever, and it's not that regular. So yeah, I think a lot of people, even beyond vegans, might view themselves as part of the post milk generation, and I could see milk kind of going away. That would be a good.
Do you know if your kids' friends, family still give them a glass of like cow milk at dinner?
I don't know that. That's a good question. I have no idea if that's still like a thing. We used to have that like a dinner time drink would be milk.
I had that growing up for sure. I don't know if my kids' friends do that. No idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think the right side won this one. Glad that was worked out.
Definitely, I agree.
Would you wear a post milk generation T-shirt, Doug, if I got you one, or if Emery sent you one for Christmas?
Yeah, I'd wear one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, there you go. There's your weather report. Good stuff. A lot of labor.
Mr. Jeffrey says this is genius. All the plant milk people should trademark something with the word milk in it and use that on their labels. And then he says it's funny. It's like if the meat industry sued No Meat Athlete for saying meat means meat and no meat shouldn't be allowed. Yeah,
that's what it would be like.
Oh man,
it just doesn't make sense.
Mr. Jeffrey just gave the meat industry an idea. We're going down.
Yeah. We might get ready for a lawyer up. Go for a big court battle.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's that. On to the big story of the day. And that is, I think we'll just go right to the veg news story here. Veg News has got the 10 biggest biggest veg news stories of 2023, from Kraft and Taco Bell to Reese's.
Oh, these are the biggest veg news stories. Okay.
I just realized that as well. It's not necessarily the biggest vegan stories, but you'd think it'd be the same, right? Because they're going to cover all the vegan stories. They're going to do it in a pro-vegan fashion, but they're going to cover all the vegan stories. I guess unless they were a negative one. If it was a negative one, like for example, the complete collapse of the plant-based meat industry is probably the number one story of the year. And instead, Veg News has Hershey's launches vegan Reese's peanut butter cups as the number one story of the year.
So I read through this and I was like, this is so definitely not the 10 biggest vegan news stories of 2023. And so I created a list of my top 5.
Okay, good. I'll be eager to hear those.
Yeah. All right. But let's run through the 10 biggest veg news stories of 2023.
Okay. All right. So we'll go through them rather quickly. Number 1, Hershey's launches vegan Reese's peanut butter cups. That was big news. Like, that's an iconic candy, and it went vegan. And they also made a Hershey plant-based bar. Are these things still around? Because it was all a big fuss for a little while.
Well, I did notice them in CVS maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I didn't buy them because they're
Okay.
still way too expensive. But I did see that they were there. Every time I go by, I check.
Okay. Good. Glad to hear that. Wouldn't want this one to go away. I just don't ever see them anywhere. I guess it's pretty much only there.
Pharmacies.
I don't know where I would see it.
Just
I guess
real
I'd see it
weird.
in like
Like
a
how many
grocery
people are
store
buying
checkout.
candy bars at pharmacies? I don't know.
Yeah, they had the Beyond Jerky as well there. I don't know what it is with CVS is getting vegan foods.
Which they do
Anyway,
not
that's
have
number
anymore.
one.
At least ours doesn't. I
That's
actually
not
looked
okay.
for that before my race because I thought it might be a good snack during my race, and I couldn't find it.
Maybe they had to trim back the product line, pare the product offerings back to just the really special products like the smash burger and the 2 at once burger that you stack 2 patties on instead of 1.
Yeah. Yep.
They probably had to make tough decisions there. All right, number 2, Taco Bell launches the first vegan crunch wrap, which is very much like, I'm just going to skip down to number 4. Taco Bell launches vegan nacho fries because it all happened on the same day, I think, that they did this. No mention though of it going away.
Yeah.
And the controversy surrounding that. Like that was kind of funny and interesting how fast that went away. When it wasn't even kind of built as a test, it was just seemed like it was here, and then suddenly people couldn't get it, and then it turned out it was gone everywhere.
I think the crunch wrap was a test in certain locations, a couple locations.
I think you're right about that. And then it went away, and then they brought out.
Yeah,
right about that. And then they brought out the nacho fries stuff. Okay. But then that went away also without really any fanfare.
Yeah. In a very disappointing fashion. What?
Yeah. Did you try the nacho cheese fries?
No, remember that was my last trip to Taco Bell. I went to get it. I was so stoked. I ran 30 miles thinking about that nacho cheese. And I got so confused by the whole thing because they didn't have it that I ended up with a meat crunch wrap.
Yeah. All right. And that's it. No more Taco Bell for you. You're done, right? You're out.
I haven't been back. I haven't even attempted to go back. I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Number 3, Kraft's first vegan cheese singles rollout nationwide. So I don't know if they still are around or not. I think it wasn't that long ago that they came out. But that was from the Knot company as well. The company that does this Knot milk. That's another iconic product there. And skipping down to number 6, I'm jumping all over here. Another Kraft product, another cheese product. Kraft's iconic blue box mac and cheese finally ditches the dairy. That's also a big deal. I haven't seen it anywhere or tried it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a pretty big.
That would be a big one
to go vegan.
You know what I like about these, both the Kraft singles and also the mac and cheese, is that this is probably a good way. So we're looking at the boxes here, and unfortunately, I don't have it up on the screen. But it's like the Notco is, I assume, a subsidiary of Kraft. They've kind of combined the packaging, so it says it's very clear Kraft. It has that Kraft feel to it, but then it says not cheese, or not, not whatever on the side. And I think that's a good way of kind of blending it together, making it very clear that it's something very different, but but still giving you that feeling, that familiarity of the Kraft.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's for as big of a company as that is, it's a fairly bold declaration that this is not real cheese, because it says plant-based at the top of the package. I'm just looking at the mac and cheese one here. It says plant-based at the very top. Then later in small print, it says vegan, no artificial dyes. And then, a third of the package on the right side is dedicated to the not cheese collaboration. And it says not cheese in huge capital letters, plant-based again. So like that's, and then macaroni and plant-based sauce mix, it says on the bottom. So like 5 times on there, it says that it's plant-based, and they're not hiding it, and they're erasing it. And that's like the selling point for the right person. So that's good. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, the biggest thing that you see is Kraft mac and cheese or Kraft American singles.
Right. Yep. So there you go. We'll need to try those next year, perhaps. Number 5.
Carmen says the Kraft vegan macaroni and cheese is gross. There you go.
Really? Well, I'm not surprised. This audience, discriminating palates. People like health foods. They don't want.
That's true.
They don't want this tricky stuff. All right, number 5. This is a surprise one to me. Billie Eilish and Phineas are opening a vegan restaurant in Los Angeles. People keep calling Phineas like he's Madonna or something, doesn't need a last name. No one's ever heard of Phineas that I know of. But I guess he's the brother of Billie Eilish. I don't know.
And producer, I think.
Okay. So anyway, they're opening this restaurant that they partner with this guy Nick Adler, who does a lot of plant-based restaurants, Argento in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna go there, Doug? When you're out there? Of course you are, right?
Is it open yet?
I don't know.
I'll be first in line.
No idea.
No, we did Google vegan restaurants near my brother-in-law's house, and there's several. So I think we're gonna try to hit up a bunch. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, you have to let us know how that goes. Try to get to it. Is Charlie's, Mr. Charlie's? Is that in LA? I think it was San Francisco.
I think. Might be LA too.
Los Angeles. That'd be a good stop if you can get to that one. Because LA is kind of small, easy to drive all over the city, right?
Yeah, definitely. You can just
not known for its
zip
traffic.
around,
Yeah, right.
No problem.
There is an LA location, but who knows how far away. I think there's a Venice Beach and a Hollywood location.
Okay.
So try to just make a quick run over there.
We're not far from Venice, so maybe I'll do it.
Okay, good. All right. So there's that, and that's not one of the top stories either. Mr. Charlie's. That to me, that's kind of another big one. All right, this is a big one. Mioko Shinner removed as CEO from $260 million vegan cheese brand. That's of course that separation. That was a bit of drama. That was about as dramatic as Plant-Based Morning Show gets. Where every day I was kind of refreshing the news, searching specifically for that topic to see if we could bring you the latest on it. I mean, that was a big deal. Ultimately ended in seems like on good terms, I think, right? For the most part.
Nah, I mean, I don't know if it's good terms, but they came to an agreement, right?
Right, that's right. Yeah, because it seemed like it could get really ugly when they started accusing her and putting up videos of her like trucking stuff out of the facilities. But then it didn't. Then like a week later, everything was good. So yeah. So hopefully that's all good. This one we missed entirely. I don't know how. Number 8, beloved farm animal ambassador Esther the Wonder Pig dies.
Oh, I did not know that. This is news to me.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of Esther the Wonder Pig.
Yeah, at one point I followed Esther on Instagram.
So did 579,999 other people. Well, her dads, Steve Jenkins and Derek Walters, opened a farm animal sanctuary. I guess those are her adopted dads. Can only be that. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I didn't know about that, but she died. They don't say how. Hopefully, just of old age. All right, number 9. Eat an Impossible Burger. It's good for your heart, says AHA. So no mention of the complete collapse of the industry, but they did get the stamp of approval, which is meaningless. That AHA stamp.
American Heart Association.
They give it to. Yes, they give it to seemingly shocking companies that you wonder what it's based on. And finally, number 10. The Chicken Run sequel is about to change everyone's mind about nuggets, but we debunked that one.
Debunked from the Daily Mail.
Debunked it for us.
Busted.
Finding 5 children who are still going to eat nuggets. I'm surprised that's a top story.
I am too. I mean, it has to be like it got shared a bunch.
Yeah, I wonder if they measured these by that, or if they just kind of picked and chose their favorite.
I don't know. All right, so I got my list, and I must admit I read the headline wrong, and I thought it was the top vegan stories of the,
which is what I wrote in the show notes. That was my bad. I read that wrong.
So I didn't read the headline wrong. You wrote the headline wrong.
I wrote it in the show notes, but then on the article I didn't change their headline.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so let's hear yours, Doug, and I'll tell you. I mean, we already mentioned a few but
yeah.
What do you think?
All right. I think number 1 has to be that cultivated meat gets approved in the United States.
That's a huge one. That's a massive story. It's not necessarily a vegan story, but
it kind of is.
It's important to vegans. Yeah, it's important to vegans. So that probably is the number 1, right there with the collapse to me of the fake meats.
I would say that my number 2 is the Mioko story / just legal battles within the plant-based world in general. All this stuff around labeling milk, cheese, ice cream, whatever meat
Banning of
that's
cultivated
happening.
meats.
Banning of cultivated meats, all the legal stuff, and I'm lumping Mioko into that, even though it is somewhat unrelated. But all the legal troubles or stuff. All right.
Agreed.
Number 3 is that Beyond Meat gets a smash burger.
Earth-shaking news changes the whole world.
No, actually, I wrote that down. But what I really mean by that is that that this is the great plant-based meat reset. That's what I'm calling it right now. Not the claps.
Hopefully,
I know you're calling it the claps. I'm calling it the great reset. Because those plant-based meat companies are scrambling, doing everything like creating a smash burger, just a thinner version of their current burger, to try to stay relevant. But I think that in a year's time, by this time next year, we're going to see who the winners are, who the losers are, and then everything will kind of have leveled out. That's my take. All right, so that's number 3.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Number 4 is the twin study in the movie that's coming out, the Netflix documentary that's coming out.
That's a good
one. And maybe that's just because it's top of mind.
That should be. It is just like Chicken Run, but that should be higher than Chicken Run. Veggie should have put that one on there.
Yeah, Chicken Run. I mean, come on. I don't know. It's cool, but yeah.
Right. Agreed.
But no, the twin study. I think there's potential there for it to become a real big thing. Just with the documentary coming out, but also just something that people can cite for a long time and maybe do some further research on and build it out. So
it has that mainstream appeal. The simplicity of the premise of that research is perfect. And like we know, it was that Netflix documentary is coming out, and we saw the headline everywhere last week when it came out.
That's right.
So yeah, I think that could prove to be a really big thing. Hopefully.
So that was number 4.
What's
and
number 5?
Number 5, Plant-Based Morning Show turns 1.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if we celebrated the birthday, but it did at some point turn 1.
We didn't, but we're like halfway through our second year. I think it's cool. I think that's one of the big stories of the year. Excuse me.
Yeah, good. I can't think of many others. I mentioned Mr. Charlie's. That's been a weird kind of thing. Not as big as any of the things that you have there. Any big celebrity things or anything? Not really. I was thinking Taylor Swift, but there was no vegan thing there. Taylor Swift's still one of my stories of the year. There was the burger being eaten by the sister of the girl who was in the Ariel movie.
yeah, that's right.
Halle Bailey, her sister, I think, is one who ate the thing, or maybe Halle Bailey's the one who ate it. I don't know.
I'm mixing
Halle
up
Bailey. Halle Bailey. I know it's not like Halle Berry. Anyway,
eating a real meat. I mean, maybe my meat crunch wrap.
You're right. That could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. I'm not seeing any comments. I accidentally refreshed it.
Mr. says Matt's willingness to call Kraft vegan slices iconic, but hesitate to call Ariana Grande iconic is in itself iconic.
Yeah. I like Ariana Grande. I think she's kind of funny. My kids watched some show that had her in it, Sam and Cat. Yeah. And I get some chuckles out of her character.
And then Garuda Legend says, it's interesting how they remove dairy from unhealthy food to make unhealthy vegan food.
Yeah, that's a good point. It would be such an opportunity to replace it with like cashew cheese or something and then really make it pretty healthy. But no, they didn't do that. None of this comes to mind for me. I don't know if any readers have other ideas here of what might have been big ones.
Yeah, the biggest stories of 2023. Think about it. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I think tomorrow, Doug, we should do some predictions. We should, because I don't know what we're going to do. I haven't really thought about it. But tomorrow's our last show of the week. Reminder, anybody, because Doug
last show of the year
for Mr. Charlie's. Yeah, of the year. Because Doug leaves the next day during roughly the show hours. So, yeah, that'll be it.
No, I leave tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, right after. Okay. Yeah. Good. Well, that'd be fun. Yeah, so that means tomorrow will be the last show of the year. We'll do little predictions maybe for next year. We'll predict some food trends and bold picks. What's going to happen with cultivated meat? I said earlier that it would be in grocery stores by next year, despite experts saying it would be 7 years. I'm still sticking by that. Next year, it's in grocery stores where you or I could go get it.
Don't spoil the picks.
Okay, I'm not. All right, when are we starting in the new year? Says Carmen Petty. When do we get back to work, Doug? I don't really know.
The 3rd, which is Wednesday. Wednesday the 3rd.
All right, so that's when we'll come back.
Yeah, and we're gonna come back with a bang.
Okay.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah, we are. It's gonna be all
epic.
We got 800 views on that one YouTube video. You never know. This could be the year.
Could be.
All right. Yeah. So no other submissions for top story of the year. I guess we got them all, and I think we did. It was basically the same handful of stories repeated in a new, way each week. Like the labeling thing just constantly happens.
Cultivated meat collapses the meat industry. Yeah. It's just like rotating back and forth. Maybe something like something about am I the a-hole? There were some good ones in there. Yeah. That's another big story is the huge anti-vegan sentiment growth, right? This is the first year I would say vegan has stopped being like a cool thing that just in the balance, more people are kind of liking it than not liking it. And like it's this sort of hip diet. A lot of people hate it this year, more than I've ever seen. May have to do with election coming up and all that. Who knows? But definitely has been marginalized a bit. Yeah. I'd agree with that.
All right. Well, that's it. On that positive note, we're going to go, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll find some stories. We'll give you some predictions, and then you'll be ready to take on the Christmas and the New Year's and any other holidays you celebrate.
Take on Christmas.
There you go.
Take on Christmas. All right.
Thanks everyone for listening, showing up, commenting all year long. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
One more show of the year.
All right. Sounds great.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.